talking because I have to drive so we don't get a ticket.
Well, we're coming back from AR Canada.
AR Canada, which is
Auto
in
Remarketing.
Toronto. Auto Remarketing. Shout out to Bill Zadites, Mary Lou, Katie, Moore, Lisa, Amanda, Joe Overby.
If we forgot your name, we love you still.
Yes, we're just a little tired.
A lot tired.
A lot tired.
Party too hard.
Yeah, that's us. Parties.
All that seltzer we drank.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I'm tired. I gotta go back to the room.
I did say that a few nights, didn't I?
It's 8 o'clock.
I think my nickname is Grandma.
Grandma. This is true. So, guys, I'm really excited. I mean, all of these years that Samantha's been doing Hard Facts, which comes out every Friday. If you're not signed up for Hard Facts, you need to get signed up for Hard Facts. And then all of these years that I've been doing Think Tank Tuesday. And you kind of think about it. I mean, it's a tremendous amount of content, a tremendous amount of, and I don't want to use the word content because that devalues it, but a tremendous amount of information that we share. And we've had a lot of people, like when we go to the conferences, we've met a lot of dealers that say, man, I'd really like to work with you guys. However, you know, and they've always got the however, that they can't afford us,
or it's too high level for them. I think we hear that a lot. Even like with our weekly video series, we have a lot of auditors. Yeah. And it's like actually implementing those strategies. So I think our goal at AR Canada Auto Remarketing and with our used car blueprint was to really create actionable items that everybody can utilize and be held accountable for and implement in their business.
Well, I thought it was pretty exciting. So this is what happened. Let me tell you the story behind it, guys. Like Samantha's saying that, you know, we go to the conferences and people come and watch us speak, and then they're like, you know, they line up to talk to us, which is great. And they're like, man, I love your ideas. I love your strategies. I love the things you do, but we get back to the dealership and we don't know where to start. It's too high level. And so when we booked to speak at AR Canada, we said, what would make sense? And since it's about used cars, we said, all right, what do we want to actually present so the dealers could take something back to the dealership and implement it? So we went into the studio, well, we did an outline and everything and spent days and days putting an outline together. And we went into the studio and we recorded 47?
It's currently 47, but I already have a list of a couple of additions.
Yep, so there's more videos coming. So we did 47 videos, almost 5 hours of content. And then you guys might have seen the book, the companion book. So you're not buying a book, let me be clear. You're buying video training that's almost 5 hours with a companion book. But I think it's critical, I mean, it's important that I point out, this is not something necessarily, see, they're going to try to pull us over now. That it's not something that, oh man, yeah, right, Paul, I got to do all this additional work. What we're giving you is the information to go to your vendors. You can go to your chat provider and say, I need you to do this. You go to your website provider, I need you to do this. Your digital provider, I want you to do this. Your website provider. So we've given you everything you need to know to make sure you're doing the right things to sell more used cars. But of course, I mean, you could use this really, if I don't want to say this because that'll cut another training video down, but you could do it for new cars. You could do it for a number of things.
Well, the tools apply to both segments of the dealership. So new cars, used cars. It's the application, the strategies, the accountability. And I think a lot of that's what's in that 5 hour plus video series. And it's broken up. I think that's what also is really attainable, is it's broken up into different topics. Right. So you can go sequentially. They are in an order for a reason. But you can go through them and you can really say, I'm going to work on this today, or I'm going to work on this week. So it allows you to not only be an individual listening and utilizing the content, but really putting it into action. And that's what the goal of it was. And that's why it has the companion book. So the video series is the meat and potatoes of it. And the book has all of the details to really walk you through what you watched a video on and the content that you're receiving. Plus, I think one thing also you get in the book that we haven't talked about is some resources, some templates, for example, like email marketing.
Yeah, because I mean, to give you an idea, what what I do going through the training is I give you the 50,000 foot level, and then I break it down. I say step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3. And the videos are anywhere from 4 minutes to 9 minutes long, but we're going back into the studio again, and Samantha's going to give you the details of really, I mean, minute details. Won't be anything left to chance. And Dan Allen's going to do the same thing. So these guys are going to carry it on and build it out. But an example, like for email marketing, I tell you specifically, send an email. This is the email you're sending on the first week. Here's your email you're sending on the third week. And then here's your email you're sending on the second week. So you don't have to sit back and struggle and go, oh, what are we going to do this month? You know, we need to sell more used cars. What's going to be our sales event? What are we going to do? What are we going to say? Where are we going to advertise? So when the media reps start coming in the door and going, hey, I got this package and it's $3,000, you know whether or not to say yes or no. But it really lays a foundation, so you're not having to reinvent the wheel every month. And the price point, I think, is what's really cool. We priced it really low. And you kind of think about it. I mean, what do you spend on one TV campaign, and at the end of the month you're going, we didn't get anything off of that? So it's $3,995, and it lays out your used car marketing strategy. It's a one-time fee, and you can watch it as much as you want. And we want you to share it with your staff, share it with your ad agency. All of your managers should watch it. Everybody should know, because we tell you how to use Facebook, Facebook Live. We tell you everything.
Text messaging platforms, how to make sure that you can correctly track and evaluate lead sources. So for example, making sure that all of that information is trackable, making sure you're able to ask the right questions for all of the analytics on the platform, whether it's in-house or out-of-house that you're doing your advertising. And the one thing I think that's really important as well is we're going to continue to update this content as platforms begin to evolve. So for example, you know, social media, Facebook is forever changing. So the video we record this week could be obsolete next week. It doesn't do you any good if we don't update that content. So with that one-time fee, you're going to be getting the updated content and in emails as it gets released. So you'll have all of that cutting-edge information, not to sound cliche, but to sound cliche, as soon as it happens. So
more or less, you're not going to be watching videos where we're using flip phones. It's going to stay updated is the thing. So anyway, if you want to check it out, we encourage you to check it out. Just go to my website, my personalized website, which is potratz.com, and you'll see the banner for it. You can go right there, see about it, read about it, and everything else. Or you could just go to,
usedcarblueprint.com.
Is it Used Car Blueprint or usedcarmarketingblueprint.com?
It's usedcarblueprint.com. Okay. And you can buy it right there. You'll go ahead and click purchase this course. If you have questions though and want to find out a little bit more, you can private message me if you want to do it in private on Facebook, or shoot me an email. You can also reach out to us on our business page for Potratz.
That state trooper was eyeballing us.
Or comment on the video below.
So let me close that. Sorry guys, you might have missed that. Somebody was calling. Laser. Ooh, laser.
Everybody's after us right now.
No kidding. That's crazy.
All right,
troopers are everywhere.
In an effort to not have this cost us a ticket.
Nah, we're good. We're good. Look, I'm driving like a granny.
Well, for the record, last year, does Christy know this before I say that?
Yeah, she knows. She knows. She
on our way home from Auto Remarketing Canada last year, we got pulled over 3 times. But it was Paul's birthday, so we got out of it once.
Once? Yeah, only once. Guys, it was the craziest thing, though. Here I am, I got my radar, and I'm like, yeah, we're good. And I'm whizzing. And there's this angry state trooper. She was really angry. And I seen her leaning on the dash, and I guess she was turning her laser on and off, on and off, on and off. So I wasn't picking it up. And just as soon as I seen her, I hit the brakes, and it was, yeah. And she whips around, pulls me over, and she had like no personality. She was angry. I even tried the birthday card with her, and she looked at me like, so? So it was the guy, though, was like, all right, but you do know what the speed limit is. I'm like, yeah. But anyway, so there you go. So guys, check it out.
Potratz.com, usedcarblueprint.com, or message us if you have questions. And we look forward to doing this again soon.
Yeah, I think it's a great resource. What are you trying to hang up from our friends for? Why are you trying to get out of here?
Well, ask us some questions. What are you guys doing right now? You're watching our Facebook Live. There's a whole bunch of you. What are you all doing?
Yeah, no kidding.
What questions do you have? We have like another 2 hours we could do this for. Facebook Live lets us go till 4. So.
4 hours, yeah. And we still have a couple hours before we're home. So what was your favorite thing about Toronto? What was the favorite thing, seriously now, it doesn't have to be business, but what was the most favorite thing that happened when we were in Toronto?
Okay, I think I'll answer that in 2 parts. I think the coolest thing that we did was we went to a really cool Mexican place.
That place was cool.
I had no idea the name of it, so...
El Katrina or something.
El Katrina.
Something like that.
It was a really cool Mexican restaurant, all old wooden beams and posts.
Just so you know, guys, Samantha likes that, like the what would you call that? Like the old wood stuff, the real...
Like reclaimed wood?
Yeah, reclaimed wood. So, that type of stuff.
But they had really cool lamps and just this great artistry. So they had like metal, oh goodness, what would you call that?
Kind of like, not really a chandelier, but a light, a big metal, the metal carved out light. You said it looked like an upside down cupcake
holders.
Yeah, cupcake holder paper thing.
And then they had cut out wall art and blacklight wall art, just really cool stuff, really dynamic. So I thought that was like one of the coolest things because it was visually very stimulating.
Yeah, it was. That was cool. I wish we would have done more places like that. But yeah, instead of the plain regular old restaurants.
We probably should have done our Facebook Live on the way there and asked for recommendations.
Probably should have.
Could have hit up Nick Holiday. He commented on your post. Loves Toronto. Should have asked him for a restaurant resource.
Yep.
So
that was cool. Yeah. But okay, here's the business part. But I was really excited about where we had the dealers at AR Canada that were buying the used car
That was going to be my part 2.
Is that your part 2? That was really exciting for me.
So I thought that was a lot of fun. We worked really, really hard to create this program and provide value to the dealers at the conference. We got a ton of engagement after you spoke, a lot of questions about the different tools and strategies that all actually were resources in the blueprint. And then having the dealers come to our booth and engage with us, but then also purchase the blueprint. One thing I really liked that one of the guys said was he's been thinking about how he needs to do something like this for a long time, and now it's his accountability.
Yeah, that's true.
And so I thought that was really a great thing to have said because it's true. So often we talk about all the things we need to do and need to make time for, but you kind of need that extra nudge and you need that extra little bit of assistance to overcome those hurdles or those obstacles that you see in your path. And I was really happy that that was something he provided feedback on after having seen a couple of what the videos look like and do, and then signed up for the resource. I know
that was. I don't know if I can put it into words, but it made me so excited about it that we put together. That we've talked about this for years, but we actually did it thanks to Dan Allen. Thanks to Aaron and Samantha and Nicole and. It's just, there were so many people that played part in it, and we actually made it happen. And and then for the dealers to come and go, wow, this is awesome, and to buy it. And I'm not talking about the monetary that, okay, hey, we made money. That's great, but it's just that they found it, after they've seen, we gave them really a sample. We opened up and said, here it is. And they're like, this is exactly what I need. Which got my wheels spinning. Should I say this?
I'm going to say probably not because I have an idea of what it is, but go
What am I going to say? I don't
know.
Well, what I'm just going to say that there's, I just think about that as a business owner, and have been in the business my entire life working with, business owners and, my dad being a business owner and then working with our clients and prospective clients, that they just sit there and spin. And they're so confused because everybody's coming in their door and going, I got the next best thing. And that there's, what's happened. And they're like, I know exactly what I need to do. And that just excites me because I know there's so many businesses out there that could be so much more successful if they would just, I don't want to sound like a Nike commercial, but just do it. And just do it.
They're going to bill you for that.
Yeah, they probably are. And then, but you just kind of think about it. Just how many times have you said, I want to do this and I want to do that, but procrastination gets in the way or confusion gets in the way or whatever. So that just excited me. that they
well,
actually
both, right? So they wanted it because they want to just do it, and you
Yeah.
know, honestly, also the execution that we just did it and got it out there, and they found it valuable.
Yeah,
And now it's in the marketplace to help everybody.
yeah, and it's going to be the first of many.
Definitely. We
Yeah.
already have our laundry list of nexts on the agenda.
And we'll be, you know, here we're headed back now, but tomorrow we go back into the studio. Well, yeah, tomorrow we go back into the studio. We start recording to add to the used car blueprint, because as we watch through it again and again, we're like, all right, we need to put this in there and this in there and this in there. So it's not going to be a set it and forget it by any stretch. But I think people know us that we overdo everything, but that's okay. So, what was the next favorite thing about Toronto or the event?
Well, those were my two things that I prefaced I was going to have.
Yep.
You kind of stole one from me.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm glad we shared that mutual feeling.
Yes.
What was my next favorite thing? I really enjoy the conference.
Yeah.
I think that in terms of some of the different events that we go to every year, that Auto Remarketing Canada has a really good mix of dealers and vendors and industry personnel. And somebody's commenting, I have to I love that you overdo everything. Thanks for your feedback.
Thanks.
Let us know what you guys would also like to see, if there's a training or a series that you think would be beneficial for you or your business. Like I said, we have a laundry list of things that we're going back to start to work on after we add part 2 to this used car marketing blueprint. But we always want to make sure we're keeping your questions and comments on the forefront of that innovation.
I want to share one that I want to do.
Okay.
I want to do one for advertising agencies, public relations firms, website design companies, anyone that needs clients, like, that they work on a client basis, like professional services. So I want to do one that's in the creative realm, photographers, anything like that. But I want to do one for them of how to get clients, because I think a lot of people do know, but there's a lot of people that don't know that our agency, we have no salespeople, and we've built the agency to the size that we are now. And I think a lot of people know that we're not a small agency. I mean, we're not massive, but we're not small, and we've done it without a sales staff. And that's always been important to me, to try not to have a sales staff, because, sometimes when you're trying to make your number, trying to make your commission, your vision as a salesperson might not match the vision of the individuals that run the company. So there's often times that they will overpromise and then the company will underdeliver. So I always feel like it should be a consulting, a long-term talk to make sure when the client comes on that you deliver and you keep them a long time, because our retention is good, is actually great. And I want to share that with agencies and PR and photographers and all that, how to get clients without a sales staff. And it's not about advertising, let me tell you, because, those of you guys that are watching that have magazines and all that stuff, that you call me, you call Samantha, go, hey, you want to advertise in our magazine? Do you want to advertise on our website? And we always say, no, we don't do that. So, I'm not saying we don't advertise at all. We do a little bit of advertising, but we've never advertised in magazines or, anything like that. So
we're not about we don't push that heavy sales message, I think is what you're trying to say, and communicating how you can still gain sales without being salesy.
Right.
Like air quotes, salesy, right? So how you can actually utilize that to your advantage, where it gives you the type of clientele you're looking for versus just the clientele that finds you.
Yes.
Or you find them, like calling, to not sound outdated, but to pick up the yellow papers and call through the yellow papers and just say, this business name sounds like they could be the right fit, and then your attention is nothing, and your relationship is nothing, and the value of the work together is nothing, and 3 months down the road you're no longer working together.
Yeah, no one needs that. It's not good for your employees, it's not good for your financial statement, it's not good at all, period.
No.
But like what you were saying about AR Canada, about the conference, AR Canada, and then there's also Used Car Week, which we'll have that in November, and it's in Palm Springs.
Palm Springs this year, yeah.
Palm Springs in November. I really do like the conference, because I'm at a lot of conferences, and they all have their different strengths and value. But what I like about AR Canada and Used Car Week and the CPO conference is I'm not when I go and speak, individuals are not like trying to run to the next session, that we have a lot of time to really get to know, the dealers, the other vendors, and build relationships. Because, a lot of it, the sales that happen and everything else, it happens through relationships.
And I think at those I think a lot of these conferences, specifically the two that you mentioned that are also coming up the remainder of this year, is that it's much more of a conversational conference. And I know that sounds silly, but you go to a lot of conferences like NADA, and it's hardcore sales messages, like come in my booth, like come talk to me, prana salespeople, stuff like that. These conferences are built around a large, diverse population, and I say that because those conferences attract people from all over the world. And then, the States, Canada, there were people from Europe last year, a number of other places representing manufacturers, dealers, vendors, and it allows you to have a conversation in and outside of your space, too, which helps, because it kind of paints a picture for what the industry is doing and where technology is bringing us.
Yeah, I struggle at a lot of the conferences because, even, the other conferences, too, which are all great, that the relationships are made afterwards, like where they go out and they, have drink, go to the parties and all that. And I just struggle with that because I'm very introverted. Doing this video is really hard for us, to be honest.
We've been in the car for literally 4 hours talking about, hey, let's do our video.
Yeah.
But Dan Allen is our shining star because social media is his right hand. Paul and I are we have to do a video.
Yeah,
we do think taking hard facts, but I think those are things within the comfort of our wheelhouse.
It's still uncomfortable for me to do think tank.
Well, you're doing it live now,
and it's very uncomfortable. The podcast, the audio podcast, it's uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And people laugh at me. Oh, I've seen you speak. You're on stage. I was talking to some of the guys at the conference, and they're like, man, you get on there, and if you've taken training and all that stuff, and I tell the story about, I got some stories about speaking. Speaking in public is very uncomfortable for me. Doing these videos, very uncomfortable. Doing the uncomfortable. Bottom line, it takes a lot out of me. After we hang up on this video here, I'm going to feel tired. I'm going to need a nap.
So we probably shouldn't hang up till we get home then.
Yeah, for real. But no, I would definitely check out the conference, and it's not really a plug. I'm not trying to plug Bill Zadite's conference of AR Canada and Used Car Week. I'm just giving you a recommendation. If you're looking for other conferences, because I get that question a lot, where should I go? What conference should I go to? There's a lot of great ones, but his are great too. And we made some really good relationships this past fall at Used Car Week. It's called Used Car Week CPO Conference, but it's a week long, and it's a lot of different segments of a conference.
They have good different tracks too, so depending on what your goal is or your interest, there's definitely a track, and you can kind of cross tracks a little bit depending on the content. But I think the point is worth the note. You're not trying to push his conferences, but when we look at where we go, we don't spend a ton of time at conferences. We don't go to NADA.
Yeah,
we've been there, don't get me wrong, but when we look at where we put our time and our resources, we're very particular, and we've gotten more particular over the last year and a half.
Yeah.
And I think that's just what we're trying to say is, be particular as well in where you spend your time and your resources, and what is going to help you further everything else. And for us, it's conferences like Bill's, and not so much the big NADAs where it's a huge sales conversation. If you're looking for a car wash, sure, NADA. 100%. If you're looking for a marketing agency, your conversation shouldn't start or end at NADA.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know.
So
I think NADA's, I guess I was in the left lane, he just passed me up, but I'm
behind
following a minivan.
You're behind a minivan.
Yeah, so. But yeah, NADA, huge conference and everything, but it's a lot of money. You spend a lot of money, and it's just, ours is very relationship driven, so it's kind of hard. All right, I'm going to pass the minivan, Mach 3.
If you guys slide, it's because Paul is waiting for his speed thing to go off. And
yeah, I'm not speeding on this one. I've been good.
No, you weren't good.
I was good coming.
What did I say? You have to drive like a normal human on this trip?
You said I have to drive like a human, not a normal human. You just said a human.
Gotcha.
So there's a difference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And to whoever said they want to work with us if we move to Florida, can't really read your name. It's really hard. I apologize. But work with
Her
us
contact.
anyway.
Well, let me be clear about that. Why Samantha cannot read it, okay? Because she got daily contacts and she ordered up a bunch on the last prescription because she changed insurance companies and wanted to change the insurance company. So she needed a new update. Is that pretty fair?
Yeah, but I don't know if that was English.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. Yeah, never mind.
He's making fun of me because I said that I haven't changed my contact prescription because I wanted to use all of my old prescription contacts before moving to the new boxes since they cost money.
Oh, that's what you said. Okay.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but all I picked up was you were wearing contacts that don't really let you see as well as you should because you're being frugal Samantha.
I can still see, just maybe not as good.
That would give me a headache. Oh, that's right. I need to get my prescription of my glasses updated because I haven't done that in a few years. And I can't see as well.
And you're lecturing me.
Hey.
Mine's only a little off.
Okay, so's mine. Mine's only a little off, too. So there you go.
All right.
So, guys, training, we're like, at least I am. I don't know if Sam is. But I'm excited about doing these informational trainings. And so if there's something that you want us to talk about, I mean, even if it's something that's like a would it be called micro or macro?
Micro. So
Micro,
like
like a specific training that you want us to do, you know, tell us. We would be more than happy to do that. I mean, because, you know, we have a lot of resources, a lot of information. I mean, you have to think about it. I mean, how did we build our ad agency, you know, with all of our employees and buy the building and everything else? And we're talking about it. We don't really want to spend money for that conference. And
well, we're making a pact, right, to do two things.
Okay.
One, to be more comfortable being uncomfortable and Facebook living.
Two.
So when we're super awkward on here, guys, just give us lots of hearts to make us feel good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, please do that.
When we stare at each other for the first 5 minutes and see who breaks first to talk. And then two, we're going on our diet, right?
Going on the diet, because I'm telling you, that suit that I was wearing day before yesterday.
So you guys join us on one of those two goals, and we can do it together.
I need some accountability partners.
Yeah.
For both of those. For what was the first one?
For being comfortable, being uncomfortable. So doing our Facebook Lives.
Doing Facebook Live, sharing information, being a resource. So that's our number one. So guys, I would love you to death if you would message me, text me, whatever, you know, shoot me a text, shoot me a Facebook message, Paul, get off your butt, do a Facebook Live. I will do my best to be a resource and share good information that could help you or share what I'm thinking. And then two, well, I need this one.
We're going on a diet.
Going on a diet.
Just don't look down because there's pretzels there that I was just eating. May have eaten the whole bag.
Wait. Yeah, like there's some crumbs in here. Really, Sam?
I gave them to you because I said I'm a picker, so I'll just keep eating them.
I told you I couldn't eat anymore.
Okay, so you guys need
I
to be
have a gluten intolerance.
Accountability partners. But that's our goal. So together we'll work on it. Check out Used Car Blueprint. Let us know what you think. Let us know what trainings you want us to do. We'll be creating a lot of noise and hopefully answering some of your questions.
That's right. I'm excited to get back into the studio tomorrow.
Maybe we can do some teasers.
Tease? Oh, that's a good idea.
So maybe comment some of the teasers you'd like to see of the topics we're covering.
What's another training? So I want to do the one for agencies and photographers and all that of how to get clients without a sales staff.
Mm-hmm.
What's another one we can do?
Oh, we can't tell everybody.
We can't tell. That's right. Somebody might run out and do it.
Some things behind the curtain.
Really?
Well, I mean,
I'm like one of those guys that just tells everything I know.
Well, because what is it? What did I say the statistic was the other day? I forget, but it's the whole principle behind a lot of the podcasts and a lot of the individuals that are out there educating in the industry. They count on you actually being too lazy to do anything about it. So they can give out all of the information in the world, but the amount of individuals that are actually doing anything. Actually, it was a Gary Vee podcast that I have been listening to, and it's an old one. And he talks about how he had looked at the top auditors of his content. I think he looked at like the top 3 people that absorbed the most of his content and found that when he dove into what they were doing professionally and personally, they were not implementing any of his strategies. And that's why, he talks about, I'll give it all out for free, or I'll give a lot of strategies for free. Of course, you have to pay for some stuff, but it's because he doesn't actually count on you doing anything with it.
That's true. And I mean, I don't know how many of you guys listen to like the old Zig Ziglar podcast and everything, but Zig Ziglar, I believe it was Zig Ziglar. Yeah, it was Zig Ziglar. And he would talk about that he would go and present and say, guys, I can only bring you the information. What you do with it is up to you. And he harped on that. And there was a couple of his, lectures that he did, and he's talking about it. He sounded grouchy about it, like he was offended that he was putting all this information together and sharing all of his knowledge, and people weren't really implementing it, or they would just, that's so true. But I mean, we've had clients that would get upset with us in the past. We don't have those clients anymore, that we were sharing all this information on how to do, campaigns and everything. And I mean, it is true. I go to a conference and I share the ideas, or I do it on Think Tank, or you do it on Hard Facts, and it's rare that anybody implements it. I mean, that is true. And I talked about that yesterday. So
most people are their own biggest problem. They stand in their own way. I do it.
Yeah.
I do it when it comes to, knowing that I need to be social. I'm probably, a bad example, and that's why I said our goal and accountability is to be, more of a social resource and be out there talking, because it's great that I can provide content and hard facts, but there's so much more that I'm missing.
Yeah, and so I'm going to give you guys 2 quick stories on that too. Me and my stories.
You're better at that than I am. That's my growth opportunity.
So here's the one thing, growth opportunity, telling stories. Anytime you tell a story, it's more memorable. So it was years ago, I worked at a radio station, and this was years ago, okay? So long time ago. And I used to do some work with this guy, and he's really, he's been instrumental in me starting my career when I was years ago. His name's Andy Reeves. And Andy had an ad agency. This was in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And I would get frustrated with him sometimes, but that's a whole side note on that he wouldn't really do some of the things I thought he should do. But who am I? I was a young guy. He was a guy who had a successful ad agency. And I remember he gave me a bit of advice, and it frustrated me when he gave me this advice. And he told me that people are lazy, and if you're willing to work just a little bit, you can be extremely successful. And I thought it was very negative because, years ago I was young and everything else. But I remember that he told me that so many times. Paul, if you want to be successful, all you have to do is be a little bit more motivated than the next guy. And just know that the next guy is really lazy. And I was like, okay. And that's true. And I mean, if you think about it, it is true that some people, or a lot of people, I'm lazy, you're lazy. I mean, we're all lazy in our own way. It's just, how do you choose to be lazy, and how do you choose to be motivated? And a lot of times people choose to be lazy on the task that will move them the farthest and the fastest versus, does that make sense what I just said? Mm-hmm. Sometimes Sam has to, there you go. So you have to think about that. So choose to be lazy on the things that's not going to move your business forward and fast, and choose to be, motivated. Choose to be motivated about the things, hopefully you got all that are going to help you move forward. And you're probably thinking, well, I don't know what those things are. And I'm like, if you think about it long enough, you'll figure it out. So anyway, so there you go. Any last notes on that?
I think we covered a lot.
There's snow falling off that mountain. That was kind of weird.
Hopefully
that
it's
hill.
Falling because it's melting, not because it's falling.
Yeah, no. It's 46 degrees right now, so it's melting, thank goodness. So. Okay, guys. I'm done being uncomfortable.
Okay. That's it. Till next time.
See ya.